Hi everyone, my name is Megan Dunlap. I am a career counselor at Career Services at UNC. I want to apologize, I am kind of in the middle of a cold right now, so I might cough a few times, but I do apologize for that. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So since you guys are in the master's program, we're probably not going to go over every slide because this is more kind of towards undergrad students. But we'll definitely go over what the difference is between what you guys maybe know of a normal resume and what a teacher resume should look like, because there are some differences. And then we'll talk a lot about teacher employment days, because those are coming up pretty soon, and that's going to be really key for you guys in getting employment once you guys graduate. So we're going to do a little bit of an overview of career services that we can do for you, job search and education. We're going to go over kind of resume writing, teacher education candidates, and then teacher employment days prep, and then an overview of teacher employment days. And it sounds like you guys actually just did an interview workshop, so we don't need to go over that again. But at any point, if anyone has questions, please feel free to raise your hand and I'll be able to answer those for you, okay? So career services, we're a wonderful thing that you guys have. We're a free service to you guys. I know you guys are down here in Denver, so it might be hard to make it up to Greeley, but we do email and phone appointments. So if you ever want to email us your resume, or if you want to talk over the phone on the job search process, we can always do a phone appointment. Or if you ever want to email us your resume or cover letter, we can always do that as well. So those are, that's a resource that you guys can use, and we are free for you guys. So the resume, some things you guys probably have done a resume before, but a teacher resume is going to be a little bit different. So when it comes to a teacher resume, a lot of times, you're going to have the regular name, phone number, email on the top. We want to make sure that our emails are appropriate. We also want to make sure that our voicemails are appropriate. I had to call someone once and they said, I don't answer the phone, send me a text. And I was like, well, if I was an employer, I probably would have crossed you off my list right there. So we want to make sure that our emails are appropriate, but we also want to make sure that our voicemails are appropriate as well, because sometimes we don't think about those things. Sometimes also what you want to do is there might be, so you guys are student teaching, you might have a different permanent address than your current address. If that's the case, we actually recommend putting both of those on your resume. So if maybe you're currently student teaching in Denver, but maybe you're wanting to go to Minnesota for whatever reason, you want to let them know that you have a permanent address in Minnesota, and maybe that's, so just letting them know that you have a permanent and a current address. Those are things that we see on teaching resumes. Excuse me. When it comes to your education, I'm assuming you all have bachelor's degrees. Your master's degree will go first, and then second will be your bachelor's degree, whatever that was in, as well as, did you guys have to take praxis or place? Either, okay. That will go on your resume. So if you passed it, if you got a freakishly high score, you can put the score on there, but usually we just recommend that you put pass or fail. Well, don't put fail. You definitely want to say that you put passed, and then if your license is pending, you want to say the license, and you want to say pending or in process or whatever that looks like. So that is something that will go on your resume. Then you're going to have so you want to have a teacher related section, and that's going to be basically where you're going to put, if you guys had a practicum, your student teaching, since you guys are in student teaching now, that's what you're going to put under your teaching experience. And then if you do have other experience, you can always put that down below, but you definitely want to make sure that your teaching experience is front and centered. And that's where you want to talk about teaching plans, classroom management, all those great things that you guys are learning right now. And then another section. Yeah. Any questions so far? All right. And then we'll also talk about the cover letter. So when it comes to the cover letter, it's going to be a little bit different as well. So when it comes to the cover letter, how many of you guys have written a cover letter before? Okay, so most of you guys. How many of you guys have written a cover letter for teaching before? Okay, so maybe not as many. So when it comes to teaching, basically what your cover letter is, I know when it comes to teacher employment days, it can be hard to write an individualized cover letter. If for whatever reason you're not doing more of the generalized, applying for lots of jobs at one time, you do want to make your cover letter individualized. So you want to make sure you're addressing the school district. If there's someone that you're supposed to write the cover letter to, you want to make sure that they're using your name. When it comes to a cover letter for teachers, you want to make sure that you're introducing yourself. If there's a specific subject that you guys are teaching, you want to make sure that you're addressing that in your cover letter, all those things. You also want to make sure that you're telling them why you want to be a teacher. Of course, we don't want to say, cliche thing of I want to see the aha moment in students' eyes, because all of the employers have already heard that and they want to hear something a little bit more unique. So maybe there was a teacher that you had growing up that really made you want to become a teacher. Maybe you worked at a summer camp that made you want to become a teacher. It sounds like most of you guys are kind of going through more of a career change, so tell the employer why you made that career change and why you're wanting to go into education. You want to make sure that you're kind of talking to them about that as well. Let's see. You also make sure that you're telling them why you're unique. So if you're gonna, when you go through, it's gonna be a little bit different. So teacher employment days, you do kind of have to do a general resume and a general cover letter. Just making sure that you're letting them know what your qualifications for and what makes you unique. If you're gonna say that you're hardworking, that's great, but then tell me what that means to you and how you work hard. Stuff like that. Excuse me. Yeah, am I missing anything? Any questions so far? Yes.
So for resume and cover letter, do you guys have samples that are on the website or that you could provide?
If you, I'm not sure we have any in our, we might have some on our website, but if you just go ahead and email us and ask us for samples, we can absolutely send you samples of teaching resumes. What I also recommend, we do have TED Prep, which is Teacher Employment Days Prep. If you're ever able to make it up to the UNC campus for this, we do have a little kind of, it's a teacher employment handbook that we have that really goes over a lot of different things. It goes over cover letters, resumes, the job search, interviews. It goes over all of that. It's really specifically for teacher candidates. And it's a really great resource for you guys. So if you ever wanted that, feel free to get over at the college, UNC campus in Greeley. Come by and we can definitely give you one of those. And that's really helpful when it comes to how is a teaching resume different, how is a cover letter different, but then also it kind of tells you like how can you stand out when it comes to a teaching resume and stuff like that.
So my name is John, and I work with this group of candidates on a lot of different things. Would it be possible for me to obtain that electronically and then filter it out to them via email? Would that be okay? And then you don't get inundated with 30 emails tomorrow?
Let me double check that we have an electronic copy, because
Okay.
we have the booklet, so I'm not sure if
Okay.
we have them. But I might be able to maybe somehow get them down here to Denver. And see
Okay,
if we
or I can come over and scan them, or make you,
Yeah,
I'll come
something
see
like
you.
that. We can definitely
Okay,
see what we can do, for
okay,
sure.
thanks.
Yeah. Any questions so far about resumes or cover letters? All right. So next we'll go into teacher employment days. This is a big thing that every single one of you guys should attend, because this is how most of our teachers actually get employed when they, even before they graduate. A lot of times some of the teachers actually have offers before they've even graduated with their degrees. Especially with you guys being master's students, that's going to be a huge leg up when you're searching for jobs. So I would definitely make sure they know that and that they, you know how special that is. So we do have TED Prep. This is great. It's going to be Saturday, April 1st from 9 to 11:30. It is up in Greeley, and then it's got like instructions on how to register. If you guys want to take a picture of this, I know it's kind of small, but feel free. If not, I can also send that to you as well if you guys want more information. But what we basically have is we have employers come in, and then we also have our career services staff. And basically what we're doing is we're going to be here to kind of help you guys prepare for TED. We kind of go over what the whole day looks like, what you can expect. We also go over interviewing tips, what that looks like. And we basically just prepare you for TED because it's a big event, it can be a little bit overwhelming, and we find that students who attend our teacher employment day prep really feel a lot more equipped when they're going to TED than having not done anything at all. So we definitely recommend that you can attend if you're able to, and we do offer on a Saturday, so if it's easier for you to attend that on a Saturday, that's why we do that time.
What was the time on that again? I'm sorry.
The time?
Yeah, it's hard to see too.
Sorry. So it's Saturday, April 1st from 9 to 11:30 a.m. And it's going to be up in the UC in the Columbine Suites. What was that?
Where is it?
The UC Columbine Suite, so in the University Center in Columbine. And we'll have signs. So next we have the event itself, Teacher Employment Days. It's Thursday and Friday, April 6th and 7th. It does start at 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., but I will let you know that a lot of our student teacher candidates actually show up at about 6 o'clock in the morning because there is a line. How it works is the reason that students get there so early is because basically when the doors open, you are going in, and basically what you're doing is you're signing up for interviews. So either an employer will they'll either do a meet and greet or they'll do interviews. What that means is it's kind of first come, first serve. So who is ever able to get there first gets to sign up for an interview, and then that's the time that you have an interview with them. Some of them are also going to be doing a meet and greet. What that means is they're not signing up for interviews, What they're really wanting to do is just wanting to meet teacher candidates. So usually what we recommend for that is we recommend that you go to the ones that are, and you'll know, because we'll hand it out, we'll let you know who's doing a meet and greet and who's doing an interview. So you want to make sure that you're going to the ones who do interviews first, because meet and greets, they're going to be there all day to meet you, to greet you, to talk to you. So you're going to be a good candidate. And then sometimes through that meet and greet, they'll then set up an interview with you. But you definitely want to make sure that you do the interviews first, because once those fill up, then they're gone. So just make sure you're aware of that. That's why the student teachers get there so early, is if they're wanting more of a desired school district, such as Cherry Creek, Jefferson County, they want to make sure that they have a slot. And just know that when you're signing up for interviews, you're signing up for an interview one of these 2 days. So you're coming up to Greeley, and you're going to have interviews those days. So make sure that you're dressed professionally, and that you're equipped with your resume and cover letter, because you will be doing a lot of interviews that day. Especially being students who are down here in Denver, it might make a lot of sense to get hotel accommodations, just because, first of all, the first morning, if you're going to show up at 6 o'clock in the morning, that's quite a bit of a drive, or if you wanted to stay the night. So just make sure you're thinking about that. A lot of our employers also stay in hotels, so make sure that you're aware of that, because hotels do fill up quickly. So if it is something that you want, make sure you're thinking about that now, and it might be a good time now to go ahead and sign up for that if it's something that you're interested in. For our UNC students, the event is free. And you can say, kind of goes over registration details if you go onto our website, unco.edu/careers. Over to the left side, there's going to be an events tab, and it'll walk you through what the whole registration looks like. But we do recommend that you register for the event beforehand. When you register for the event, it'll give you the option of sharing your resume before the event. I personally recommend doing this because sometimes the school districts will reach out to you before the event even occurs, and will set up an interview with you before Teacher Employment Days even starts. So if it's something that you'd like to do, we do recommend that you usually give them your resume before the event. Yes.
So I tried to register and it said I must upload my resume to complete my registration.
It did.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then isn't there a bubble you can click that says share or do not share?
There should have been some kind of bubble that gives you the option of sharing and not sharing. It could just be that if you didn't hit that, it's going to make you
Oh, I
do it.
told it to share, so if I click unshare, it'll let me register
Yes.
until I finished my resume.
And you can always upload it another time.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's definitely something that we recommend. And there's no hurry to register. We're not going to
I
close it off
thought it
at a
was by
certain
the
number.
end of February for some reason. Now I'm seeing it says April 3rd.
Yeah, so I mean, you've got plenty of time, and we certainly won't cut it off. I believe that if you don't register before April 3rd, then we do charge you $25. So that's why it's helpful, because it's free if you register before. But if you want to send us your resume, we usually ask for about a week. So if you're going to email that to us, that's usually how long we ask for us to kind of review those and then get back to you about that. But that's a great option. Do we have any other questions about Teacher Employment Days? Yes.
How many resumes and cover letters yes, would you suggest have?
I think that depends on how many interviews you're wanting to do. I mean, if you have a certain amount of school districts that you're looking for, maybe that's 5 and that's all you want to do.
Okay.
I would still bring a few extra, but if you're really wanting to hammer that out and you want to have all these interviews, it might make sense to have 25. You definitely want to be over-prepared rather than under-prepared. And we have a list of all the employers, or all the school districts that will be there, so please feel free to look through and see which ones you're interested in. Another thing you could do is a lot of times it also helps to apply for a position before we even go into Teacher Employment Days, because a lot of times they're going to be interviewing you and they'll say, great, go ahead and apply for the position, but if you've already done that, you kind of checked off that additional step. So that's something we've also seen teacher candidates do as well, is even apply for the positions before they go into the Teacher Employment Days, because a lot of times the employers are really impressed by that as well. So know that is an option. What other questions do we have?
Can I just add, in the Teacher Employment Days, there's about 140 plus districts that are going to be there. So that's all of Colorado, Kansas, Wyoming, California, Texas, Alaska, China. I mean, literally, it's kind of everywhere. So when you come in to this, it's an overwhelming number of tables set up and people there ready to interview. And they will have pieces of paper in there that have a sign-up sheet. And so what you're going to do is you're going to preview all of the places before you go. And then you're going to beeline to those places and you're going to sign up for an interview. You're not going to sit down right there necessarily with someone. You might, but a lot of times they'll have interview times set up so that they make an appointment with you for either later in the day or Friday the next day. So have your plan about where you're gonna go to first, get on their list first, and then there's other places that are gonna be grabbing you from the walkways, and they're gonna say, we want you, we want you, we want you, and we want you right now. And I mean, literally, I've had students hired on the spot, like there.
Mhm.
Places like Alaska are going to be ambushing you, they're going to be tripping you, and they're going to be tackling you, they're going to say, we want you here, and we'll give you billions of dollars to come. And it's seriously, they are very aggressive, and they need you, they want you. So just know that it's a gigantic, overwhelming, crazy place. When you walk in the front door, John Shaw's going to be there, he's going to have a place for you to put your coats or your stuff, so that you don't have to carry it around if you don't want to. And look at the list of places before you go and decide, is this where you want to be? Because otherwise, if you just walk in and wander, you're just going to be wandering for a long time.
Can I add one thing to that?
Yeah.
You will actually have a map of where each district is, and I believe that they're like grouped per geographic area. So there's the Denver region. Is that how it works, or is it through Colorado?
I'm not sure.
But it's basically table by table, so you can tell. So hey, I'm gonna hit Jeffco, I'm gonna hit Dougco, I'm gonna hit Denver Public, Aurora Public. And once you sign up, which is your main priority to get as many interviews in those districts as you can, you're gonna have a lot of downtime. I mean, ideally, if you could get them all the first morning between 9 and noon, you're there, you're doing all your interviews, and then you can go home. But that's not really the way that it works. You may not get an interview in one of the districts that you really want. And so ways that you can work through that, as I've seen over the years, is maybe someone will cancel later in the afternoon, so you can walk by and say, hey, excuse me, Mrs. Urbanski, who works in the HR in Colorado Springs, do you have anything open this afternoon? Can I just do a drop-in interview? And they may say, sure, come on down, have a seat, let's talk. You will have downtime, so bring your capstone project, bring your computer, bring a book, think about how that will look. And then also, a lot of interviews do open up on the second day, which is Friday, because people will not come back. And so that's a really great way to do that, to get your foot in the door of a district that may have an opening. And finally, if you have some time and you can sign up, just with the district, you might not even think about whether it's Alaska or Weld County 6 or there's an opening. It is still great practice to just go through it and use your buzz terms and push that. I'm a Master of Arts and teacher candidate from UNC. I'm graduating. I'm ready to hit the career field with your district, and here's why. I'm the person that will be the best for this job right now today. So let's sign a contract. but I maybe Roseanne has seen more of that. I have not seen much except for go onto our webpage and fill out the district. The district application, and you are going to get so tired of doing those. Last thing to say about that is, if you have a Word document on your computer, you can work from that and save it and reuse it, because it's going to get pretty redundant, because you're going to be doing maybe 10 or 12 district applications. That would just be a couple 2 cents. And as far as me being the coat check, I'm willing to do that. I will be there representing graduate programs through UNC, so as you walk in, it feels a little bit like a cattle call. You come in and there's a line and people are moving pretty quickly. You're welcome to see me on the right side of the building as you enter, throw down your briefcase, throw down your jacket, and then go sign up and come back and get them later. But it's a great resource to do this, and Career Services is amazing. They'll have everything you need to have it be successful before, during, and after. So let me know what questions you have when you're there.
So just to clarify, we're signing up to interview with the districts, and we can apply to different districts beforehand?
Yes,
we
we can.
should. And then do we interview with specific schools, or is it only with districts?
For the most part, it's going to be only with districts. Some of them are going to be charter schools, so some of them might be more specific, but for the most part, you're going to be just doing it with districts. So yes, that's why it's sometimes helpful, because a lot of times you might have a great interview and then they'll say, okay, go ahead and fill out the application. Whereas if you've already done that, that could be a really great thing. Them being like, oh, cool, like she's clearly already prepared for this and she's already applied. Clearly maybe this is somewhere that she wants to be. So that's what that's going to look like, yeah. Any other questions? All And we'll have maps, so if you wanna, we'll tell you exactly where the school districts are. So if you wanna highlight the ones that you're gonna go to and like have a plan of attack, we really recommend that, because it's gonna be a little overwhelming because we're in the Bank of Colorado Arena, the formerly Butler Hancock Gymnasium, and it's full. So it's gonna be loud, there's gonna be a lot of people there. We do have Wi-Fi, we do have concessions there for you guys. So if you know, we do have those things. You are gonna have a lot of downtime. I mean, if you can hammer out interviews, that's great, but we also make sure that you still have downtime in between your interviews, because if you're just go one after the other, if one goes over, so you still want to make sure that maybe you give yourself a little bit of time in between interviews, so you're able to kind of regenerate, because if you've got 5 in a row and you're running around the gymnasium, that might be a little bit exhausting in itself, so making sure that you're keeping that in mind. Any other questions? All right. Let me see if we've got our... Oh, that's a picture of what it looks like. So literally, there are going to be rows. You could potentially have more than one person at that district, so you could be sitting next to someone else who's having an interview at the same time. But this is actually what it looks like. So just, that's something to be prepared for. So, yeah.
When they do the interviews, are they just one-on-one, or could it be that are we talking to 3 of us at one time during a single interview?
No, so it's going to be, there might be maybe where if maybe the other recruiter maybe doesn't have some of their interviewing, it could be maybe 2-on-1, but you're never going to be 2 candidates with 1 interviewer. It should be just 1-on-1. Yeah. Any other questions? Here are some teacher website resources, Bears Career Connection. So if you guys need help formatting your resume, when it comes to formatting your resume, I'm sure a lot of you guys use Word and you use Word templates. We actually don't recommend that you use Word templates because anytime that you have to make a change, Word makes it really, really difficult for you to do that. So on Bears Career Connection, we actually have a resume creator where you can actually create your resume, download it, and then it'll download it as a Word document, but because it's not like a Word resume template, it's a lot easier to make those changes. So that's usually what we recommend, and that's going to be unco.edu/careers under Bears Career Connection. And that's also potentially, I think, maybe where you're, but that's a good resource for you guys to use. Okay, so just so you guys, here, let me go back to the beginning so you can see our, so our phone number 970-351-2127. So if you wanted to make an appointment, that's the number you'd call. If not, career.services@unco.edu. That would be the email that you would send your resume or cover letter to if you're wanting it to be reviewed. All right, any other questions? Yeah?
Could you go back to the slide that had like the, where you registered for, well, the very last slide?
This one?
No, the one that's like further back with like the registration website and the resume uploader website.
This one?
That one, yes. Thank you.
Absolutely.
We had a similar session at the district on student teaching unit, and the PACE group also is having a big career fair. I believe it's March 25th down at Smoky Hill High School.
Okay.
Which they they said all the metro area school districts will be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's $20 to register. Same kind of setup and deal at Sunset.
Yeah. The cool thing about the one at UNC, I mean, absolutely utilize any career fair that there is, especially if you're wanting to teach out of state. Teacher Employment Days is a great opportunity to do that, but absolutely.
Yeah, that Casco Work Fair is March 24 and 25. It's a Friday and Saturday, and if, you know, depending on what you want to do, I'll talk about it in a minute, but you might want to do both. This one's free,
It's a little bit of a
except for
drive.
the hotel.
And you don't necessarily, I mean, we recommend it because it's going to be 2 long days, but if you're okay with driving, you don't necessarily have to. It's really up to you. All right.
Can I see the next slide?
The next one or
The
the
one
one
that
after?
had your, I think you said